You're listening to DraftKings Network.
You know that sound. It's the sound of money hitting your Venmo account, a friend paying you back, or maybe it's getting cash back from your favorite business when you pay with the Venmo debit card, or it's realizing you can pay with Venmo at checkout at thousands of brands. Now, there are so many more ways to answer the question, what's your Venmo? Download Venmo today. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. Dosh Cashback terms apply.
This episode is brought to you by Bleacher Report. How do you follow sports? From college football to the NBA, Bleacher Report brings you the latest news, live scores, and epic highlights from your favorite leagues, teams, and athletes, all in one app. Dive into exclusive shows hosted by your favorite athletes and original Bleacher Report series with breaking news, rumors, and predictions all season long. Download Bleacher Report to personalize your coverage.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Do we have any betting odds circulating around the office on the Corn King, who nobody knew was the Corn King before today, and who had to prepare his recipe because he's kind of winging it? He just wanted a cooking challenge, and I don't believe he's actually somebody who makes popcorn regularly. I just think he thinks he's good at everything. He thinks he can run a 6-minute mile. He thinks he can kick 50-year-old field goals.
50-yard field goals.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I said cuck there, and I got scared of myself.
Yeah, you should have.
Yes. You don't have a popcorn recipe, do you?
Certainly I do. Yeah, absolutely. It's tried and true. I tinkered with it a little bit last night. We had a taste test involving my wife. I gave her a couple of different options. Do I want to use oil? Do I want to use butter? Do I want to use ghee?
Prepping. Wow. It's pronounced ghee.
Ghee.
It's ghee.
Ghee, okay.
So how did it go?
It went well. She gave me a preference on a certain item that I was wavering on, and blah, blah, blah. These are all proprietary secrets, so that's why.
How confident are you?
Oh, I'm quite confident. Yeah.
You always are, right? Yeah. About everything.
Well, I try to be, but, ever since Roy Bellamy's turkey beat my turkey,
right.
I've been knocked down a peg, so now I have to get back up, but I prepare. I prepare more than the average bear. And, we just have to get to it.
Making himself laugh.
The odds makers back here in the shipping container have it Dan minus 250, Greg Cody plus 300.
That's a value play right there.
I don't mean to cut this contest off at the pass, but I have concerns about the integrity of this contest.
Wow. I do too.
How so?
I do. Well, it's not a blind taste test, and
the power dynamics?
Yeah, our panel of judges.
I understand.
Right.
That's fair.
Earlier
Vote
today,
for the boss, right.
I overheard Dan in a coterie, talking about career advancement and everything.
This is all made up. This is not true in any way.
I'm not. I can't offer someone a raise or a promotion if they vote for my popcorn.
We can't ignore that is the elephant in this room at the moment.
Yes.
But I was talking about your attempts at espionage, which I rebuffed. Wow. But I don't know if you were successful in approaching other people to get intel on Dan's recipes.
Okay. Let's open that can of worms.
I think more context is needed because he kind of told me what he was thinking of doing, and I was like, I don't know what Dan's recipe is, but I've heard rumors of certain things, and I think that might be what Dan uses.
Yeah.
My sole reason for bringing it up was to avoid overlap. Okay, the last thing I want is to have two competing popcorns that are eerily similar.
That's actually a pretty good defense of your attempts at espionage.
And it's the truth as well. Mine, totally distinctive. It'll be like nothing you've ever tasted before.
Except it'll be just like mine.
No.
It is popcorn. It's hard to...
Well, first of all, it starts with the corn itself.
Right.
Oh, and I use a premium corn.
You are the Corn King.
Yeah.
Don't give it away, Greg.
No, I wouldn't. At some point, I'll reveal all details that are available.
Excited about this.
It starts with the corn.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
This is a really good line, by the way. Dan, your popcorn is exceptional, and I know how much pride you take in it, and I know how you don't want anyone across you with any criticisms whatsoever. Just so you know, I'm voting for you no matter what.
There you go.
Just the way I like it.
The fix is in. The fix is
I'm
in.
the Putin of popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. I claim
Now,
that
that's a catchy nickname.
Putin of popcorn.
I claim that it's democratic, but
Popcorn
it's not.
Putin or Putin of popcorn?
It's
What do you
not.
like better?
Popcorn Putin.
I don't know if you've ever seen the video of Putin playing hockey, but this is what they're accusing me of doing to the popcorn contest, where Putin plays hockey against a bunch of Russians and weaves between 6 players who are
That's
clearly,
Gretzky.
they're
Isn't he
clearly
incredible?
letting him score. Yes.
Yeah. It's akin to Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal in that martial arts competition, taking on all comers.
We'll get to the pop-off in a second, but Chris Cody, yesterday you promised us, we never got to it, but you promised, here's the Putin video of him just scoring unchecked in the middle of the ice, much smaller than all the other players, and he scores every time he wants to because he's amazing. You promised us yesterday, though, an update to the scandalous Oktoberfest bathroom bar toe that snuck out from underneath, a public restroom.
I can't lie. That's a clean finish by Putin.
Really?
Right in the 5-hole.
He's got a sneaky good
I know, but
finish.
there wasn't a lot of interference in front of the net, the
Yeah.
kind you'd usually expect in front of a goaltender.
Yeah, but he
I
went top
understand
shelf.
that. I
mean,
understand that, but that wrist action you cannot fake.
Right. Do you think the goalie was processing, if I save this, I die?
Yeah,
I mean, there's some
Ironically,
of that, yes.
half that team fell out a window after the game.
Chris Cody, what is the update that you're promising us? For those of you who do not remember his what is alleged to be his famed Oktoberfest toe, Chris Cody has since retracted that this is his foot. It is not his foot.
I mean, my foot is clearly in this picture here. You can see my knee. I'm taking a shit, and this guy's foot came into my stall, and I did what one would do in that moment. I took a photo of it, and I showed it on air, thinking, what are the odds that this guy, if he ever sees this, what's he gonna sue me? Hey, that's my foot. So I'm at the Panthers game the other night with a buddy, and as I'm walking by somebody, some guy just goes, "Hey, that was my foot at Oktoberfest." No way. And my instant reaction is, "That's hilarious. That's a good listener of the show. That's
Good callback.
Yeah, that's hilarious." And he goes, "No, seriously, I'll DM you." And I have this moment where I walk back away with my friend. I'm a little scared because the guy, he kind of was smiling, but he had a look like I'll punch you in the face. Okay. So I was like, I should, if that's really him, I should go back there and get a video of him. And I'm got my mind into content mode. And then I'm like, maybe he's messing with me. But if it's true, he'll DM me. So I just kind of went about my business and I'm like, all right, maybe this guy will DM me. Next thing I know, I get a DM from a guy. And he's basically like, it's me. And he shows me a screenshot of his Oktoberfest ticket on the same day I was there. Not proof yet that it's his foot.
All he's got to do is send you his foot.
That's Dan. I'm a journalist. I respond to him. I need to see the toe for me to believe it was you.
Now it's creepy, the creepiest possible, sliding into the DMs.
And
foot.
And he responds to me, as much as I want to send feet pics to men over the internet, I'm going to pass at this time. Wow.
No, that's not proof.
Here's the next best thing. And he sent me a picture of his sandal, of the sandal that is in that stall. So as far as I know, the guy is he's big fan of the show. What are the odds that the guy that I did this to 6 months later is hey,
right.
It's me?
I've got a number of questions. So this guy's personal moral compass on how far he's willing to go. He's got no problem telling you to your face, I'm the person so inconsiderate that I sprawl out when shitting and stick my feet
I get wide
in other people's stalls. I have no problem admitting that. I will prove it to you with a ticket stub and a flip-flop. What I will not do...
Here's where I draw the line.
What I will not do is show you what would be the ultimate proof, which is an identical foot with a crooked second toe.
Yeah.
I will not send that to a man. Perhaps you should give him your wife's DM.
Whoa.
Now,
You do
Crazy.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, absolutely.
Why don't you
did,
FaceTime him or toe time him?
Now, can we put the foot back up there? Because in the way...
Do we have to?
The way that I took this in the first time, to me, that's a Hispanic foot.
Really?
To me, I mean, what am I?
What are you doing there?
No, I'm just saying, it's just the tone, that. My foot is pale as shit. Like that's a I don't know. Like,
that second toe is part of a mean's hand on the follow through.
Yeah.
The second toe is really crooked.
and the only reason I bring up that this guy couldn't have been.
It looked like a white foot to me.
Maybe. This
Definitely looked like a white foot to me.
Bad lighting.
The great toe is beautiful, and the other 4 toes
You know
are
how I
rather
know that's a white
unbecoming.
foot? Because it's wearing thong flip-flops at an Oktoberfest. That's how I know it's
That
a
is
white
a telltale
foot.
sign. That is a telltale sign.
Well, the guy
I
couldn't.
never once considered it was anything but a white foot, considering the context.
The guy couldn't have been whiter.
Is that second toe digging into the ground for maximum leverage on whatever it is that's happening inside that stall?
Been there.
It is
broken.
Just so you know, we're approaching the 20th anniversary of this show. Could you message this gentleman and find out if he's open to an activation in which we bring listeners into a stall and they can sit down and experience it live and in person for themselves?
Part of our part of all of our planning that's going to go into our 20-year anniversary, where we bring in just an assortment of circus oddities.
I've been workshopping. I should probably talk to you about it. Do we want to do a lot of little ones or maybe one big one? But either way, this toe has to be a part of it.
I think I want it to be as weird as possible.
Highly a movie co and waiting for you in one inside one of those stalls is that foot.
Greg, what did you say? Toe what?
Well, Toe Man is the nickname I've just developed for him.
Greg, your nicknames today have been really terrible.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't want to think too hard.
Greg Brackets? I mean, come
Greg
on.
Bracket, Toe Man.
Outside of Putin and
Cuts right
popcorn,
to the chase.
our nickname game is lacking.
Because Toe Man lends itself to a Batman-like sing-along. Toe Man, Toe Man. Little music in the background, you got a song. Bam.
All right. After this
like
foot
that.
segment, let's eat some popcorn.
What would Toe Man's powers
I'm in the
be?
mood.
He can fly. He wiggled. My dad used to always say if he could wiggle his ears, he could fly because his ears were so big. And it would be a similar thing with Toe Man. If that guy starts going like this, all of a sudden...
This is the new and unimproved Dan Le Batard show with the Stugotz. Gamble on by DraftKings.
Stugotz here. I want to tell you a story. I'm serious here. My wife and my 2 daughters, they begged me to buy a Peloton. So I bought a Peloton. And then I watched that Peloton sit in my office and stare at me. So you know what I did one day? I looked at it. And so I decided to get off my ass and I jumped on the Peloton because no one else was using it and I paid for it. I mean, so why not? Then I realized eventually that they bought it for me. And I got to tell you, way more challenging than I could have ever imagined. Peloton coaches are walking the walk. I love the coaches. I do the Grateful Dead one. It's fantastic. They have a sub 3-hour marathon runner, military trained athletes, a former college basketball player, and so many other well-rounded coaches on their team. All this experience really shows in their classes, which are never short of challenging, especially for me. So I jumped on it that first time. It was challenging, more challenging than I thought. And then I wanted to beat the bike, and so I kept jumping on it. And I absolutely love it. I mean, I'm the only one who uses it. But again, they got it for me. I mean, I had no idea. That's a little passive-aggressive, don't you think? Find your push, find your power with Peloton at onepeloton.com.
It's the holidays. People are shopping for great gifts. One of the great gifts that I always like depending on is something experiential, like going to a sporting event. There's nothing like it, especially when the stakes are ratcheted up high, especially when it's a game that everybody wants to go to. Well, sometimes those games are sold out, and you have no other option than to go to the secondary market. Well, go to the industry leader. That's right. For my money, it is the absolute best one out there, Game Time. And guess what? Game Time is focused on togetherness this holiday season. That means when you bring people together at live events, the experience is that much better. And it makes for the perfect gift. People listen to me when I say that. And they have this amazing new feature, Game Time Picks. With Game Time Picks, it helps to make curation easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. And it's got that beautiful toggle option, all in pricing. Toggling this feature shows up the total amount up front. No surprise fees at checkout. That is huge. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DAN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time.
Don Le Batard.
You are very comfortable talking about how you met your wife, how much you love her, how important she is to you, and that's the reason that I asked the question. I've always admired that about you, that you have no problems whatsoever professing your love.
Well, the thing is, I got a new wife now. You know, me and Bianca didn't make it. So I moved on. We moved on. It was for the better for both of us.
Stugotz.
Things just got a little awkward there. So let me be the first on this show to congratulate you on the new wife, Vince. Congratulations on feeling whole, feeling complete, you know? Let's talk tailgating. Yeah.
Don't feel awkward, buddy. You know,
Dan, no, I don't.
Oh, it's too late for that. It's much too late for that, Vince. I appreciate you soothing me in this regard, but I already feel terribly awkward. And then my teammate comes to my defense with not a question, but just a healthy congratulations and the further pointing out of that awkwardness because he's always good for me in those spots. I'm also thinking of divorce, Vince, after many, many years, 18 years, with a partner who does things like that to you.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
The pop-off has begun. Greg Cody is with me in studio. Dan is up at the, he's in a hotel room somewhere. He looks very comfortable in a kitchen. He really does. He has started the process of making his popcorn. Greg, you've been observing what Dan is doing. What are your thoughts so far?
Well, I think he is going to get and deserves some credit for doing it old school. He's not. I'm using a microwave without apology, but I will get some points deducted by people who prefer the old school method. So we'll see if I can overcome that.
All right, so Dan, again, he's in the hotel. He's in a room. He is in the kitchen. He is currently making popcorn. Let's go up to Dan, and he's holding something up. I have no idea. It seems like a secret ingredient. Let's go to Le Batard and find out.
I am hidden away at a secret location, 46 floors above the earth. I have an assortment of different ingredients. I will say, though, there is something of a strategic advantage that Cody now has that might resemble excuse-making by me, but I have two things at play that I was not expecting. First of all, this stove is not something I've worked on before, and I'm not sure about the heating levels. And then more disastrously, I have forgotten an ingredient at home. I have an ingredient at home that's missing. I was horrified. I was horrified to look. I left it on my oven at home.
How important is this ingredient, though, in terms of all your ingredients? Where would you list this one?
It's the least important, but it's a connector. It's an important connector.
Wow.
So this is.
Excuse
I can
machine.
hear the sizzling, though. No, fair enough. Fair commentary by you guys, but I think I'm still going to win because microwave popcorn. How good does that smell? Oh my God, this smells good. I know you can't smell it there, but we've got a team of people here. They're nodding because it smells good already.
We can't smell it down here.
What's it smell like? Popcorn?
I gathered. It smells a lot like a gourmet popcorn, delicious popcorn. Yes.
Very concerned about this missing ingredient that is, quote, a connector. We got to play it as it lies, though.
Dan just moved to 115 in my book.
Yeah, a lot of late action.
Minus 115.
The Corn King.
What was Cody before the pop-off?
Plus 300. It's actually moving down right now.
Wow, great value. You're the favorite. Plus, you go second.
Live betting odds.
The bets are rolling in for me. That's why the line's changing.
Dan, do you feel like I have time to do top 5 people in sports that can know popcorn while you're making your popcorn?
I think you do because I have not gotten a single pop yet, and I've been up here 7 minutes. As I said, I'm dealing with no, that's not the connector excuse. That's a Baki stove excuse. It's a whole different set of excuses.
Yeah, that's why you're supposed to use the microwave.
It's an important one. This doesn't happen with microwaves.
Yours will be done in a minute.
We're getting down to minus 110 real quick. We got a pick 'em line.
Yes.
I mean, listen, there's nothing worse than missing a connector when you're cooking.
Unless your missing ingredient is the popcorn itself, I don't want to hear any more excuses.
Get his ass, Greg.
Greg, Greg Cody, you sound just as bad 46 stories up as you did when I was sitting next to you.
This is getting
just
personal.
as wheezy.
Wow.
This is quite the pop-off.
Wow.
Not his fault. You forgot your connector.
Connector.
Stop lashing out.
Connector. Most people call it salt.
It's awful.
All right, top 5 athletes in sports that connote popcorn. OLI. Colonel Reb. Mascot for the Mississippi Rebels.
Don't know how I feel about that mascot.
Oil Can Boyd.
I know how I feel.
Dottie Pepper.
Is that popcorn I hear?
Wait a minute.
What do you mean?
That's not popcorn. Pepper on popcorn. What do you mean, Donnie Pepper? Who puts pepper on popcorn?
A lot of people do, Dan.
Yeah.
Might be a connector,
Do
as some
they?
would say.
Don't give it away, Greg.
Oh, no.
All right, number 5, Butterbean. Number 4, Lisa Salter.
There's an S at the end.
That's Salters.
Oh, sorry. Sorry to Lisa.
It's like giraffes. It goes either way.
Number 3, Tubby Smith.
Sorry, I just hear popcorn. That's why I got distracted there. Look at that thing. Look at that popcorn go, Dano.
Number 2, Greg Popovich. And number 1,
Corn Elder!
So stupid. I hear popcorn, Dan. I mean, this is exciting.
You do.
Yeah.
Chris Cody, I need, if you don't mind, can you get me the filibuster, please, real quick, of the Corn Elder call of Mike Ryan on the Duke-Miami game? Just because I need a few more minutes of popping here because I got to get these temperatures right. I don't know if you can find that for me and if I can produce the show 46 stories up in the air at a secret location or not.
I will say this. A new stove is always a tricky game, a dangerous game at that. So you're cranking up the excuse machine, but I understand why. I mean, look
that's
at that.
nice.
That is so nice.
That's a good visual.
Oh, live line.
Yeah.
Back down to minus 150 for Dan.
That bruises the popcorn when it hits the lid there.
Greg Corney.
Spraying a lot of stuff in there, Greg.
Yeah. Is that hairspray? What do you got in there?
Look at this. Look at this. It is. It's one of the secret ingredients is hairspray. Yes. Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Does anyone put pepper on their popcorn?
Or hairspray?
Because oh, this is good right here. Oh, my God. Is this good right here?
Don't over-season it.
Yeah,
Christ
it's too
almighty.
much, Dan. Yeah, what are you doing?
Oh, he wants flavor.
Hey, don't tell me how to do this. Don't I don't need, I know you guys think you know how to do everything and you can run a 6-minute mile and you can kick 50-yard field goals. Don't need your advice over here.
We'll
just
see
fine.
about that.
Thank
This is
you.
the
Don't
weirdest wrestling promo of all time.
I'm not the one who forgot a connector.
27-24, squib kick. Just fall down on it or whatever. No, they're going to try the lateral. Pass it to the other side of the field. This never works. Caught by Corn Elder. Pitches it back to Jaquan Johnson at the Miami 30. Delaying the inevitable. Looking for a block. Pitches it backwards. As many laterals now as BS pass interference penalties on that last drive. Walton now pitches it back to Johnson. Guess we're going to keep going with this. Toss it back. Here comes another pitch. Corn Elder has it. Throws it back to the Plumbers 911 goal line. Dallas Crawford looking for a block. Gets one. Definitely not a block in the back. He throws it across to the 30 to Corn Elder. Big legal block. He's got it to the 40. Corn Elder crossing El Palacio de los Jugos midfield. Corn Elder speeding now to the 40. Speeding ticket. BigHoward.com. Elder now dashing down the Dandy Bear sideline. So what? Your kid has ringworm. Dandy Bear. Elder inside the Gus Machado red zone. Corn Elder. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. Lindy, Eric, Scotty, Mike, Miami, Seaquarium. Touchdown. There are presently no flags on the field, and certainly no one will have a problem with how this game ended. Oh, wait, we don't speak English, so everyone hates us.
I hear something new every time I listen to that, and I laugh at something new every time I listen to that. Ringworm is what got me that time.
Why do you keep spraying your popcorn?
I have popcorn. No, I'm not giving away any of the secrets. I'm ready to come back down, though. I have popcorn all over the floor here. I think I haven't tried it yet. John Reed, you want to stick your hand in here? You want your hand?
Come on, John Reed.
Whoa, John Reed. Whoa.
One finger.
All right. You said stick the hand in that to mix it all up.
All right, I'm bringing it down now. I'm coming down right now. You guys ready for this?
Oh, we are
magical.
Born ready, Dano.
Yeah, it took you long enough.
When we come back, Greg Cody will do his.
It's the most wonderful time of the year for getting in on all the hoops, football, hockey action at DraftKings Sportsbook. In the season of giving, we're being gifted college football and basketball, pro football and basketball, pro hockey, almost 24/7. And here's a gift for all new customers. Bet just $5 to get 150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DAN. That's code DAN, D-A-N, for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins when you bet just $5. Happy holidays from DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/bball.
Dan Batard.
Many of you, by the way, are writing in and you're saying, Dan, quit being so mean to co-hosts that you always deem incompetent. That's the formula, man. Me being mean to the co-host is what allows Stugotz to take a very wealthy vacation right now.
Stugotz.
It's a winning position for everyone but me. Have you guys not figured this out yet? That's the whole thing, is me being rotten straight man as everyone else gets to be incompetent, then I yell at them for being incompetent. And here's the miracle of it. It's the magic elixir. Bad, which is the only thing Greg Cody can be, becomes good and lovable. And it's because standing next to obnoxious, strident me makes everyone look that way.
Yeah, and the brush with death helped.
Yeah, that was planned by me. The whole thing was contrived.
This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz.
We've got a handful of disasters going on. I've just walked into a room where Chris Cody is infuriated with his dad, and I saw Stugotz chewing popcorn when I came in.
What?
Which I don't think is the way we were supposed to do this. So, and incidentally, I left a mess 46 floors upstairs because the stove burnt into one of the plastics that I was holding things in.
Oh, no.
So the bottom of the popcorn fell out. Chris, what happened with your father before we go to Jerry Seinfeld, Mexican Jerry Seinfeld in the kitchen?
What happened was I'm annoyed because the whole point of this is the audience seeing the making of the popcorn, and I'm pretty sure he's already made the popcorn. We didn't get any of the popping sounds that we got with you. We can go to him now. Greg, the popcorn's already made?
Some of it. It's popping. You'll hear the popping in about 30 seconds.
Oh, you're making multiple bags.
Yeah.
Okay, microwave popcorn is how you're making it, and you're just sprinkling some seasoning on it. Are you telling us any of your secret ingredients?
Sure, I can. They're not secret. They're visible. I'm using Blue Jewel popcorn, which is the best. I'm using Irish butter, which is the best. I'm using kosher salt.
I'm falling asleep as I'm saying it.
Which is the best.
Which is the best.
And
very
and
Trumpy.
grated Parmesan cheese.
Which is the best.
I mean, put it on the poll, please, Juju. Is grated Parmesan cheese the best? Yes or no?
You're nervous.
I finally wrapped my head around who Tony reminds me of today. He looks like John Stossel, like this.
Wow, that's a great reference there. Old 2020 episodes. He was sort of Geraldo Rivera light without the politics.
He got slapped slapped in the face by a wrestler for exposing the business in 2020. It was a famous thing.
You also, Tony, somehow look like you're straight out of a Beastie Boys Sabotage video as well. Somehow.
So everything but Seinfeld. Then.
Well, you don't look. You don't look anything like Seinfeld. How are we doing the taste test parts of this? Who are the judges, and where are we on feeling? You didn't do this again, where it's 4 judges and we're going to need a tiebreaker, are you?
Yes. Well, Roy can't eat today. Okay, I had 5. In my mind, it was going to be me, Tony, Roy, Mike, and Stugotz. Boom, 5, best out of 5, but Roy is fasting right now.
5 totally impartial judges.
So we're going to do what we did last time. If it is split after the 4 of us, we'll go to Cougs.
Okay, and I do really feel like there's something cheap about going to the microwave for this.
Not choosing
right?
Greg.
This is microwaving the popcorn is barely trying. Like, it's not really trying.
I mean, you guys have talked a lot of junk about each other. I'm really surprised at how hostile this has all become. I'm also not at all surprised that you screwed up on the stove and burnt the plastic receptacle.
Now, have you started seasoning yet? Because this is your 2nd bag of popcorn you're throwing on there?
This is the 3rd, and we're seasoning as we speak.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, is that some melted Irish butter there you're drizzling?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Dan, I'm kind of a fan of a lack of effort when it comes to popcorn, just in, out, and in my mouth.
You
know
could
what
have
I'm saying?
ended that sentence a few words early by just saying you're a fan of a lack of effort.
Then we wouldn't have gotten in, out, inside my mouth.
Right.
Hey-o!
Sometimes you over-prepare the popcorn and you think too much, and it's not as good as you want it to be.
I will tell you that one of the things that makes me nervous here is that I'm always making my popcorn to be a healthy popcorn. So I can't use cheese and popcorn.
You lose.
I can't use, I'm at the disadvantage of I can't use cheese and butter. Those are not among my ingredients.
What are you spreading right now, Dad? What is that?
That was lemon pepper.
Oh.
Wow. Whoa. Yeah, all right.
And now
I'll
what?
hear this man out.
And now what?
Parmesan cheese, parm.
Which is the best.
His connector.
It's pretty good, but it's not a connector.
So what were you were spraying something that was top secret, but you that was a healthy amount of spray that you were putting on there. That didn't look super healthy.
I'm being told we have B-roll of Dan putting a crazy amount of seasoning on his food.
It's not necessarily seasoning. That is the seasoning. Yes, that's not crazy. That, in fact, it was too light by the time.
You're still going.
It was too light?
Yeah, it was too light because it goes all
5
the way
more
through.
seconds.
Yes.
My God.
Yes, it's drowned in it. That's correct. That's exactly how you do it. I've got it. It's ready for anyone who wants to try it.
I would like to try it, but are we going to do the
yeah, we have to do.
Yeah. Is there
together.
more pomp and circumstance to this, or you're just going to put it in my mouth?
Let's bring one of these bags in here.
Let's take both of the bags. You guys do this however it is that you want to do this.
That's the same batch because the colors look a little off.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, Stu, you keep that one.
Okay, I'll keep this. A lot of stuff in here.
Before we start tasting, though, let's go back out to my dad. Dad, are you doing your finishing touches? Where are we in your process?
We are just about done. It's going to be ready to taste.
All right, maybe put it into 2 different bowls so we can get one in here in our room and then bring one in there
we
with Dan.
We didn't save any money on the cutlery there, huh? We went with the fine china there.
Wow, these seem like really bold flavors. I'm going to need a palate cleanser in between tastes.
Yeah, we're going to need some cups of water if we could, folks.
A little moose boosh. Little moose boosh.
Well, look at Greg.
I don't know, man. I'm trying. So, do we want to change the odds? Looking at Dan, seeing what my dad's done, like, what do we think?
No connector. I mean, new stove.
This is a pick'em line. Minus 110, minus 110.
It has tightened up. I think it has tightened up a little bit.
I mean, I've made a ton of excuses, so I have already. And on top of everything else, I can't tell you when I was cleaning up the burnt plastic. I'm like, man, this is what choking would look like at the height of what sports feels like. This is. I am choking.
So what happened there? You just rested a plate on a stove that was on?
I'm using a stove I have never used before, and I had and the gadgetry is a little bit confusing. It's got a lot of protective and plastic devices around it.
Just referred to as stove as gadgetry.
It was. It was. If I showed it to you, there was a single, a double, a triple, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Like,
okay.
Why am I going?
I'll take your word for it.
Why am I going triple the heat on this? I don't need triple the heat on this.
Wow, now my dad is spooning the popcorn into separate bowls for each of us.
Presentation, he gets the win here. The presentation is way nice.
No doubt.
You just just handed
get my own dish.
You just handed people like 2 bags.
Ziploc bag.
I didn't know that there was a presentation element to this.
It's a contest. It's a pop-off.
This was all taste, not Top Chef. It's not superficial. It's just taste. It's just give me gourmet taste.
I'm not going to discount the presentation just
I'm
because
with
you did, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I can go out there and present.
You
if
can.
I
You
want.
too late.
You tried to, and you burnt the plastic.
I didn't know this was a beauty contest. I thought it was a personality contest.
You choked.
I did.
I'm with Dan. This is not. There's no visual here. Whatever's in my mouth, that's what I'm judging.
Well, it's like telling the jury to just disregard what you just heard. Like, they can say yeah, but in the back of their minds.
All right, I am ready to be tasted.
Come back into the studio.
I don't think we're going to need Cougs. I got to be
They're bringing in a bunch of water here for us.
So Stugotz has already decided where his vote is going because he's already eaten Greg Cody's popcorn before he even seasoned it. Like, this is the thing. Stugotz just went in there and ate a plain microwave popcorn, and that's what he's going to vote for. Like, with no seasoning, just something, just Orville Redenbacher's thrown in the microwave for 90 seconds.
It was delicious.
All right, I guess now we all just kind of dig in.
Okay.
All right, but
where's Greg Cody? Greg Cody back in the studio.
We can't just dig in. We have to do this. We try Dan's first. We try Greg's second. Right?
Okay. Yep. Because Dan's has been made longer. We don't want it to get stale, so we'll go to Dan's first.
Roy, how long have you been fasting?
This is a 3-day fast. This is the final day, which is pretty funny.
So does this hurt? Does this hurt? The smell of popcorn, is it hurting you?
My stomach hurts right now, yes. Yes, I'm very hungry.
Wow.
Okay. Can I try? I'm not one of the voters, so I'd like to try Greg Cody's popcorn.
It has like 17 ingredients you allege that you're allergic to.
I will admit, and remember, I said I'm only going to judge on what's in my mouth. Dan's looks better. My dad's is like really white. Dan's got a nice tan to it.
Presentation?
Yeah, I'm just saying, based off the look. The presentation is nicer for my dad because he's got a nice little dish for that.
All right, Mike, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, we're trying Dan's first.
Yeah,
Dan's first.
Greg's is good. It's buttery and cheesy, but I'm not allowed butter and cheese, so I'm
excuse making.
Cheater.
No,
he's
I'm
not
just
allowed it, but he's got to finish that cup.
What I'm saying is that when I'm not allowed it, I'm going to have a bad reaction to how wonderful that tastes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Dan's.
I'm having Dan's. This is a classic. One of my favorite popcorns on the planet. Some saying my favorite.
Better than the other night, too. Better than Oscar night.
Yeah.
Tastes really good right here.
Yeah. I got to tell you, if you are missing a connector, I can't pinpoint it.
It does seem distant from each other, each kernel.
Okay.
Okay, but how, instead of just chewing, do we have some order to who's voting, how's voting? Everyone's eating at the same time. Are all of you eating my popcorn
we're all
right
eating
now?
Dan.
We're all eating you right now.
Right. Yeah.
Greg's is good. I'm the only one.
We've got you in our mouths right now.
You're voting for Greg?
I mean,
I'm marinating on you.
I'm savoring your flavor, Daddy.
It's good.
I'm just sitting here.
It's got a little kick to it, too. Like my eyes are watering up a little bit.
I mean,
why?
You've never revealed this publicly, but I'm certain there's like some coconut oil element to this. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh,
That might have been the binder that he's missing.
No, there's
Connector?
Connector,
That
fine.
connector, if that's a connector, that's in there. That's great. I love that. I love that popcorn.
I'm ready for Greg.
Do we all feel like we have
You,
it?
sir, know how to make popcorn.
All right.
But wait a minute. Are we going to get who? I just want to cover again because we want dramatic buildup in order for this to get the payoff.
I have the palate cleanser coffee grounds right here.
The voters are, again, Chris Cody, the voters are
Stugotz, me, Mike Ryan, Tony. That's 4 of us. If we are split, we go to Cougs.
Okay, so right now
You're rooting for a split. You want Cougs.
no, I'm pretty confident in my popcorn, but as the only one who has tasted Greg's, I will tell you that his has a moistness that mine does not. It's got a buttery aftertaste that feels like you're just slurping sauce. And
whoa,
if you like,
don't talk about it, be about it. I'm eating it.
How is it that the one guy that wasn't doing a thing had the most suggestive sentence on the air?
All right, we are moving on to Greg's popcorn.
All right.
Everyone put Greg in your mouth.
Greg, how do you feel about your popcorn right now? How do you feel about the batch you made?
Delightful.
I've had more of yours than I've had of my own.
You finished mine. Greg crushed my popcorn.
Wow,
crushed it.
This lemon pepper.
I have a critique, but
okay.
This is good, Greg.
This is really good.
Thank you.
Wow.
I think the flavor was excellent. I think you did over-season for me.
The cheese in yours, Greg.
The lemon's it bites a little too much, though. I don't know if I love the lemon pepper in here.
Yeah, but I like that part.
Yeah.
I'm Latino. I love that. Do it more.
I'm nervous.
Wow.
I know who I'm voting for.
Me too.
Well, I know who you're voting for. Like, you don't even have to taste the popcorn.
I think I need to go back.
I know
for some
which
more
way
advanced
you're
food.
voting.
This is,
You never know.
No, I do know. When Greg Cody's here, you always side with him. I do know, though. It's the only consistent thing about the two of you.
Well, no, that and
it
the
is
Masters.
missing.
I mean,
It is missing a little something by being a microwave batch of popcorn.
I would argue that is cheap in a way that prevents it from being gourmet.
You're a true artist.
Just throwing it into the microwave.
Wow. How about the fact that my Black Jewel gourmet popcorn is virtually hull free?
Really?
Yeah, it's a hull-less popcorn.
Wow.
They can't call it hull-less because if you
I know what you mean by that, but Chris doesn't. Can you explain it to him?
I mean, you know
Thank you for asking, Mike.
The hull is the portion of the popped corn that you really don't want to eat, the one that gets stuck in your teeth, and
What's it called?
the hull.
Oh,
Yeah, like Brett.
like Bobby.
Like popcorn hull.
He just, you may not have noticed this about Stugotz. He only asks the question so he can do the like Bobby thing.
Bobby
he doesn't
Hull. Yeah, I
actually
get it.
care what your
Yeah.
answer is. He's just trying.
Guy in Sports Dunkin' Notes popcorn.
Could have went Brett Hall.
I mean,
That would have been a good.
So
yeah,
far, John
that's a good-
Stossel is the youngest
That's what I
pop
was
culture
thinking, yeah.
reference.
Where were you 3 hours ago
I
when I
know.
asked you? I mean,
he missed.
I've gone back to Dan's popcorn. I am finishing this.
He missed the timing
Mike
on
looking for a raise.
when the joke would have worked best, so he asks you to repeat it so that he can then
well,
do
it's a
the
clarification and that too.
No, it's
Just
not.
to make
It's
sure I
not-
heard it correctly.
It's not a clarification. You just missed your window and you circled back around because you wanted to make a Bobby Hull joke.
Man,
You
I
know
love
me.
this popcorn.
All right, Stugotz.
Stugotz votes for Greg Cody. Tony, who do you vote for?
Hold on.
This is tough. It's done. I don't need to hear. You can turn off his microphone. It doesn't
didn't
matter.
hear it.
I
I
don't
didn't hear it.
Chris,
vote.
you first. You first.
Wait, I'm voting first? I'll go first.
Stugotz has voted. He's voted for Greg Cody.
For the
haven't
record,
said- I haven't
Chris
said anything.
Chris is related to Greg.
I'm voting for Dan. I'm being honest. It's just the taste. It's what I would go back. I just did. I closed my eyes. I said, if I was at a movie right now, which of these would I want to have?
Your
for the entire
father
movie?
is so pissed at you. The way that he stared at you was a look of parental disapproving I haven't seen from him at you since you were 7 years old.
The lemon just was a little. I don't know. I generally love lemon pepper, but I didn't love it on popcorn.
So it's 1-1. Stugotz.
I haven't
And I don't
voted yet.
need to hear from
Stugotz has
Stugotz.
not voted.
I don't. He has.
I want to
voted.
hear everyone's vote specifically.
I'm telling you how
'cause I'm keeping
Stugotz
track.
is
Who's
going
next?
to vote.
Tony.
So, guys, I'm a little torn. Me and Mike back here are very distinguished popcorn enthusiasts.
It's not
and
true.
We're looking at certain things, right?
Yep.
Dan's popcorn seasoned beautifully. There's no such thing as too much season, right? Dan seasoned it perfectly. What I like is that there's remnants of the seasoning in my cup, which
You can
means
dab it in there.
Yes.
at the
locked
end.
in. Yes. We're locked in.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you're
I love
That's the hungry man. That's
I love the
I love it.
flavoring of Greg's popcorn, though. Not as
really
much
good.
seasoning as I would have wanted. I want more lemon pepper dust on my fingers than anything else. Whoa. I think I'm going to go Dan.
Could Greg Cody go 0-2 in cooking contests?
Looks like it.
He's going to be mad at you. Like, he's going to bring this home. He's going to take you out of his will. He had your vote locked in. Yours and Stugotz's. He was hoping to get to a Kugler vote. And look at
Bad day for Billy not to be here for you.
I made the schedule this week in order to
Damper the jury
in order
pool?
to rig the
Gerrymandering.
contest. It was just punishment for what he did to our tournament yesterday. Mike Ryan, would you like to cast a surprising vote in the other direction so that we can send it to Cougs and make it more dramatic?
I do feel all this pressure to make it more dramatic right
It's
now.
only 2-0. I still have a chance.
Exactly.
Man,
It's like
but I can
2-1.
end
You
it.
have Stugotz's vote. It's 2-1.
Stugotz hasn't voted yet.
2-1.
2-1. Until I hear his vote, he hasn't voted.
Okay. Stugotz, what's your vote?
Did Mike vote yet?
No, you go ahead.
No, you go first.
No, I don't,
Mike
no.
already voted.
Oh, I
He
did.
hasn't voted. He hasn't voted.
Somebody vote.
It's 1-1 right now?
It's 2-1. 2-1.
It's 2-0.
It's
We need your
2-1
vote.
with yours.
It's 2-0 who?
Mike, what's your vote?
I'm really sorry. I'm going to take the drama out of this.
No.
I'm going with Dan.
Oh.
It's
3-0.
the best popcorn, and he is my boss.
Wow.
I vote Dan too.
Oh, it's a sweep. Oh, no. Oh, no.
You gave it a run, kid.
Should we go to Cougs?
You gave it a run.
Yeah, go
The
to
money
Cougs.
ball.
Make it 5
The money ball with Cougs. Your dad is so mad right now, Chris.
You gave it a hell of a ride, man.
I'm gonna go get more. It's just
Yeah,
the seasoning. I needed more seasoning.
I'm having yours right now, but I put Dan's seasoning on top of it.
Oh, for 2. He's so mad at me.
And that's without the connector. I would. I don't. How much would I have won by if I had used the connector?
I don't even want to know, damn. Your popcorn is so good. Please, more money, please.
I love you, Dad.
More money for me, please.
Feliz Navidad, everybody. Merry Christmas. Christmas week is upon us. And many of you are hosting family gatherings, having friends over for the holidays, and you're wondering, how do I make this holiday time a special time? Well, you make the holiday time a special time by making it Miller time. That's right, a beer with taste that you know you can depend on. No games, no gimmicks, just great beer for people who like beer. You put out the Miller Lite, you set it, you forget it, and everybody is all happy during the holiday season. You'll take that first sip, and you'll know right away you made the right call. Whether it's around the fire pit or around the cajachina, you know that Miller Lite is going to hit the spot because Miller Lite is brewed for taste. It hits different than other light beers with simple ingredients like malted barley for rich, balanced toffee note flavors and that iconic golden color. The original light beer since 1975 and still the best one. Making memories at year-end gatherings tastes like Miller time. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan. Find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer. It's the holidays. People are shopping for great gifts. One of the great gifts that I always like depending on is something experiential, like going to a sporting event. There's nothing like it, especially when the stakes are ratcheted up high, especially when it's a game that everybody wants to go to. Well, sometimes those games are sold out, and you have no other option than to go to the secondary market. Well, go to the industry leader. That's right, for my money, it is the absolute best one out there, Game Time. And guess what? Game Time is focused on togetherness this holiday season. That means when you bring people together at live events, the experience is that much better. And it makes for the perfect gift. People listen to me when I say that. And they have this amazing new feature, Game Time Picks. With Game Time Picks, it helps to make curation easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. And it's got that beautiful toggle option, all-in pricing. Toggling this feature shows up the total amount up front. No surprise fees at checkout. That is huge. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DAN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time.